Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. Did you go through yesterday's portions? You should read at least once and try to answer those questions that day itself so that it will be easy for you and you will learn it by heart at that time itself. Okay, I hope you have done that. So we'll just have a recap of what we have learned the other day. Can we? So we have seen the main characters, two different characters that appear in this lesson. First one, Franz, a boy, a school boy he is. That was the first character that we have come across. Then the second character, Monsieur Hamel. These two characters, what is the conversation that is going on between them? What happens? What is the context? These are the things that we have learned yesterday. So the context is Franco-Prussian War. And in the war, France was defeated by Prussians and the districts Alsace and Lorraine, it came into the hands of the Prussians. So what happened? What is the after effect of this war in the school life of a boy? We have already seen a bit, isn't it? You could see that Franz, he was hurrying up to the school, and at that time, near the bulletin board, he came across a crowd, and from among the crowd, the blacksmith watcher, how he asked the boy to slow down because he has got enough and more time to reach his school. And then, what are the different changes that he came across while he reached the school? Usually a noisy atmosphere is there, but that particular day nothing like that happened. Instead, everything was quiet. Students have already occupied their seats and he had to open the door to get in. And remember, he hasn't learned anything. That the master is going to ask him questions on participles. But has he prepared? No. He has not prepared his lessons on participles. So he was a bit afraid too. Somehow he reached the school and he opened the door and seeked the permission and got in. And the master, Monsieur Hamel, he told, I'm not planning to scold you. Come and occupy your seat. We were about to start without you. Like that he announced, and he occupied the seat. At that time only he identified a bit more difference. The sir is right now not in his usual costume. He has worn a special costume that day that he specially uses on prize days. So it means something important is there. That is the reason why he has come up in such an appearance. So why he came in that appearance? He was actually thinking about that. And at that time only he noticed that the last benches which were usually vacant are right now occupied with few villagers, the village elders, like Hauser, postmaster, mayor, we have already seen, and so many other villagers too. And we have seen that Hauser, he had his primer with him, isn't it? He has kept it open and he's going through the primer. These are the things that we have come across the other day. Hope you remember all these things. Let's move on with the portions of today. Okay. I hope you have taken this page. So we have stopped over here. Everybody looks sad. And Hauser had brought an old primer thumbed at the edges, and he held it open on his knees with his great spectacles lying across the pages. The next paragraph, we'll move on with the next paragraph. While I was wondering about it, Monsieur Hamel mounted his chair and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me said, My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. Got the idea? So, what was the comment made by Monsieur Hamel? He was about to start the class, isn't it? So, he occupied his chair, and in the same grave means serious, in the same grave and gentle, mild tone, what he had told. That is actually an answer for this question. What was the news that appeared in the bulletin board? So, the order that comes from Berlin. Berlin is actually the capital of Prussia. At that time, Berlin was the capital of Prussia. Okay? So, what was the order that came from Berlin? My children, this is going to, the master's comment. My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. Dear children, today I'm going to give you the last lesson of mine. Why is it so? That is given in the next sentence. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. So that is the reason why this is going to be the last class. Since Prussia has already occupied the districts like Alsace and Lorraine, what happens is that they enforce the language German on the people of Alsace and Lorraine. Like how the Indians started learning English. The language English was imposed on us by the Britishers, isn't it? So same thing. The order over here, the order is that the order has come from Berlin. Berlin, remember, the capital of Prussia. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. And so the new master will be coming tomorrow. The new German teacher, he's a French teacher, right? So the new German teacher will be coming the next day. And this is your last French lesson. And so I really want you to be attentive because the last class of the sir, isn't it? So remember what was there in the bulletin board. You have to answer this particular point for that question. I have already given that question in the group. Okay, so the order that was written on the bulletin board was this. The schools of Alsace and Lorraine are supposed to teach only German from the next day onwards. That was the order that came from Berlin. And because of this reason, what is happening here in the school? Today, this master, Monsieur Hamel, is going to take his last lesson, the last French lesson of this man. I hope right now you got the importance of the title there. What is the title? The last lesson. Whose last lesson? It is the last lesson of Monsieur Hamel. Okay? I hope that point is clear for you. And remember, this point you have to include while you write the appropriateness of the title, the last lesson. Clear? Can we move on to the next paragraph? What a thunderclap these words were to me. So thunderclap. What is thunderclap? It's actually a shocking and at the same time surprising. So a shocking as well as a surprising news it was. These words were for me. Which words? The words that were uttered by the master. That is, the master is going to handle his last French lesson. So he got really shocked as well as surprised after listening to this statement. And remember, the sentence is really important. Why? Because it was often asked in your board exam. What a thunderclap these words were to me. Explain. Like that question, often question comes up. And you have already received the board questions, isn't it? The board questions that were asked in the previous years. In that, maybe you will come across this question. Okay, so what a thunderclap these words were to me. Who spoke this? It was uttered by Franz. Okay. So Franz comments like this. That the words being uttered by the master, it was really a shocking thing for him. Why? In the beginning it's already told he hasn't learned anything, but still, when our mother tongue is being taken away from us, naturally you'll know how much, the feeling that we'll have, isn't it? We'll really feel sorry for neglecting that language until then, isn't it? Oh, the wretches. That was what they had put up at the town hall. Oh, the wretches. The wretches here refers to the contemptible people or the unhappy people who were there The people, I mean, you could see a crowd before the bulletin board, isn't it? So wretches here refers to the crowd there in front of the bulletin board. That was what they had put up at the town hall. So in the town hall, what was there on the bulletin board? These things, the things uttered by the master was there in the bulletin board. So remember the order, we have discussed the order that came from Berlin and how Franz reacted to it. He was really shocked. He was feeling sorry for the neglect that he had done towards his language, French language. Can we move on with the next paragraph? In the next paragraph, what you are going to see is what the feelings of Franz is being expressed here. He's feeling sorry for the neglect that he had done towards his learning, especially French learning, French language learning. Okay, so let's move to the next paragraph. My last French lesson. See the exclamatory mark over there? All sorts of feelings coming up together when he utters his words. Why, I hardly knew how to write. See, I really don't know how to write my own language, French. I haven't learned it properly. And before that, the language French is being taken away. How can it be? What can be done? I should never learn any more. See, I should never learn French anymore. I must stop there then. See, so what do they mean? I should stop learning French here today? Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons, for seeking bird's egg or going sliding on the Saar. See, right now I'm feeling really sorry for the neglect that I have shown towards my lessons. I should have learned thoroughly. And instead of learning lessons, what are the different things that he do? He just goes for seeking bird's egg. He'll be going and seeing, checking if eggs are there in the bird's nest, and he'll be taking it. Like that he had spent his time. Maybe he should have utilized the time to learn. Isn't it? Or going sliding on the Saar. Or else what will he be doing? He'll be enjoying sliding there on the Saar. Saar is actually a river. Wait a minute. I'll show you. See, this is Saar. Okay? The Saar river that appears in the northeastern part of France. So I hope the picture is clear for you. See, it is in this particular place. See, you can see in the picture. It is in this particular corner that he used to slide. He used to enjoy his sliding near the Saar river bank. I hope the idea is clear for you. So, how does he usually spend his time? Rather than learning, he used to spend his time either collecting the eggs from the bird's nest or else enjoying his sliding there near the Saar river. Okay, so Saar, it appears in the northeastern part of France. Now, so remember these 2 points. Maybe you can expect a question from here. How does he usually spend his time? Rather than learning, what are the other things that he used to do? So these points are really important there. That is, he used to seek bird's eggs or else go for sliding on the Saar. And what are the other feelings of this boy? Even that is mentioned in the same paragraph. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar and my history of the saints were old friends now that I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up. See, right now, I don't feel like sacrificing these things. It is very difficult for me to sacrifice these old friends. Who are the old friends referred to here? The French grammar textbook, then the history of the saints. So all the books that I had until he listened to the announcement made by the master, it was a nuisance for him. He didn't give importance to learning. That is the reason why you could see that he didn't learn the participles and came, isn't it? So what happened is that he usually used to neglect his learning, but right now, after listening to the order from Berlin, he felt really sorry for not learning his lessons. Instead of learning, what he did was he spent his time collecting the bird's eggs, or else he went for sliding on the Saar. and or else, and even his feelings expressed over here, his books. Till then, he felt as if it was a nuisance. His grammar textbook, then the history of the saints, all these things, right now for him, were old friends that he can't sacrifice at all. Have a look at have a look at the way in which the boy feels sorry for neglecting his learning. The same thing is going to happen to you too if you're not taking the online classes seriously. See, you'll feel as if you may listen. Even if you don't listen to the class, it's okay. Why? Because the video will be uploaded in the YouTube. Then you will think that you'll search, or else you'll have a look into the YouTube video later on. So like that goes on painting. And all on a sudden, if everything goes, what happens? You'll miss all these things. It will be very difficult for you when you approach the exam, isn't it? So the neglect towards learning done by Franz. Right now, he's feeling sorry for the mistake that he had done. And Messiah Hamel too. The idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was. See? And even I am going to miss my master, Messiah Hamel. Even though I don't I was not happy with him because he asked questions, he has got ruler in his hands, and at times even how cranky he was. Cranky means how strange or else how crazy or how different he is. So right now I forget all these things. I'm surely going to miss my master, Messiah Hamel. The idea that he was going away from the school and I should never see him again made me forget about the way he used his ruler and also how strange or how crazy or how different this man is. I'm ready to forget all these things. I really want my master to be back. I'm going to miss all these things. So he's really feeling sorry for the neglect towards his learning. Poor man, it was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. See, now only I understood. No? Since it is his last lesson only, he wore the special costume. You have already seen the green coat, then the frilled shirt, then the silk cap, then all embroidered. All these things is the special costume worn by Messiah Hamel. We have already discussed. So now only I understood why this poor man has come in such a wonderful costume that day. Since it is the last lesson of this man only, he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. Sunday clothes refer to the very important special costume that he keeps with him. That is the reason why those clothes are referred to as Sunday clothes. Okay. So now only I understood why he came, or else why he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. And now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. So now I understood one more thing. The first thing that he understood was why the master came in his special costume. I understood that thing. Then the second thing that I understood was this: why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. So why were they on the back benches? When you have a question answer here, children, that is, why were the old men of the villagers sitting there in the back of the room? That can be another question which you can expect, and the answer is over here. It was because they were sorry. So the village elders, they were feeling sorry that they had not gone to school more. They haven't gone to school. They are not educated. So they could have gone to school, but they haven't. They were feeling sorry for the neglect that they have done in their childhood. And it was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. So what happened? They were feeling sorry, that is the first reason, and then their presence in this particular class is the way of thanking our master. So first reason, they were feeling sorry. The second reason is that it is their way of thanking their master for the 40 years of faithful service. See how many years he has worked as a French master in that school. 40 years. So remember, it was their way of thanking their master for the 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country. And even they want to show their respect to their own country. But right now, does it belong to them? No. It is right now under the clutches of Prussians. Got the idea? So remember these villagers, why they have got seated in the last bench. Why they have occupied the last bench? The first point is that they were feeling really sorry for the neglect that they have shown towards learning. They haven't attended school in their childhood. The second reason is that it is their way of thanking the master, Messiah Hamel, for the 40 years of his faithful service. And even they want to show their respect for the country. Right now it doesn't belong to them. So even they want to show their respect to the country that was theirs no more. I hope the idea is clear for you. So that was the paragraph where we have seen the feelings of the boy after listening to the order, and even what all things he understood. Why this man was in his special costumes, and then why the village people, they were sitting. Remember, this paragraph is the answer for that question. I hope that idea is clear for you. Moving on to the next paragraph. While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name called. So I was actually lost in these thoughts regarding why my master came in special costume, why the villagers were there. So while I was immersed in that thought, I heard my name called. Who might have called him? None other than the master, because we very well know that this master is going to question them, isn't it? They were already supposed to learn and come participants. It was my turn to recite. Here, recite. You may think maybe he's asked to recite a song. No. What it means is to present what he has learned. Okay? So it was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule? Dreadful rule means terrible rule for the participle all through. Very loud and clear and without one mistake. See, I wanted to bring in everything that I had to give an exact answer, that too very loud and very clear. Why? Because this is the last lesson of this master, and naturally he really wished to give all the things that he knew in that particular class. He wanted to answer that question perfectly, that too loud and clear, and even without one mistake. That was a wish of this boy. But we very well know that this boy hasn't learned participle. But he badly wants to give an answer. Why? Because even he wants to show respect towards his master by trying to answer. But was he able to answer? Let us check in the next sentence. But I got mixed up on the first words and stood there holding on my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. So, but what happened? Even before I could start, nothing came out because I haven't learned. You know the idea? So I got mixed up. I really don't know how to express my feelings. So I stood over there, but I couldn't look at the sir too. Why? Because I was feeling sorry for the neglect that I had done to my learning. After all, it is the last class, and in the last class, he was not able to give an answer to his master too. So feeling really sorry for the thing that he had done. And the heart beating, whenever a question is being asked. Yesterday, while we had the interactive session, I very well understood the beating of your hearts, whether I'll be called or not. And when the session was over, how you were happily announcing, oh, the teacher asked question. Today I escaped. Like that's comments from you. We could hear. So the same thing, you can understand, very well understand the situation, isn't it? How the heart beats when the teacher asks you a question, you are standing over there in your seat and you're not able to answer. So at that time, what your feelings will be, you better know, isn't it? And even I have experienced in my classes, okay? So that was the condition. He was asked the question, but whether he was able to answer or not, no, it was very difficult for him to answer. He couldn't complete his answers. We'll take one more paragraph and stop. I heard Monsieur Hamel say to me, I won't scold you, little Franz. You must feel bad enough. See how it is? Every day we have said to ourselves, bah, I've plenty of time. I'll learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out? That's the great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. So, see, have a look at the comment made by Monsieur Hamel. What we expect is that this man will scold him, or else maybe will be beating him with the ruler that he has, isn't it? But he didn't do anything like that. Instead, he told, I won't scold you, little Franz. See, I'm not planning to scold you, dear. You must feel bad enough. Now, you should have a hurt feeling right now, isn't it? Why? Because you didn't answer. You didn't answer, and see, have an understanding of the situation too. See how it is. See how the situation is. Every day we have said to ourselves, I have plenty of time. See, every day we used to tell, I've got plenty of time. Why should I learn it today? I can learn it tomorrow. Like that we used to postpone our works, isn't it? Not everyone, but still this is the usual trend that is there among the students. I have plenty of time. Why should I learn it today? And now you see where we have come out, and now have a look at what happens right now. What is the situation there in our country? That's the great trouble with Alsace. So that is a great trouble that the people there in Alsace are facing. She puts off learning. Puts off word meaning is postpone. She postpones learning only till tomorrow. So that is the situation that we have come across. Now those fellows out there will have the right to say to you, how is it? You pretend to be Frenchmen, and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language. And have a look at your condition. You should really feel shame. Those fellows out there refers to the Prussians who are having their parade there. So those fellows out there, after pointing at you, they'll be just telling, see, how is it? You pretend to be a Frenchman. You all tell that you're Frenchmen and you're proud that you are Frenchmen and all, right? But see, what is your condition? You can neither speak, neither or neither, anything. Both the things can be pronounced. So neither speak nor write your own language. Have a look at your own condition. You should really be shameful. Why? Because you call yourself as Frenchman, but you can't speak or can't write French. So that is your situation. You should really feel sorry for that. But you are not the worst, poor little Franz. We all have a great deal to reproach ourselves with. But anyway, this is not the condition of you alone, Franz. We all have a great deal. Great deal means we all are there. We all equally have a part to reproach ourselves means. Reproach means rebuke or else accuse. Okay. Rebuke or else accuse. Even we are to be rebuked or accused for the mistake. For the mistake here refers to, see, this boy hasn't learned. Not only this boy, there are so many other students like him who haven't learned French properly. So it is not your fault alone. Even we have to be criticized. Who is this we? We learn it the next day. Okay? So in this paragraph, we have seen the comment made by Monsieur Hamel. He comments that, children, see, you feel as if you had plenty of time to learn. But see, what is the condition that is happening in Alsace? In Alsace, the situation goes like this, that French can be learned only till today. The next day onwards, a new teacher will be coming over there and will be teaching German language. And have a look at the condition of the people there in France, or else in Alsace here. The Prussians, or else the people, the Prussian soldiers who were parading over there, they'll be coming and mocking you. See, you really wish to be called as Frenchmen, but you can neither speak French nor write it. So that is all for today.